Good morning, everybody. I just gotta close my window so it won't be too loud with all the street noise. It's getting ready for rush hour. Happy Monday. It's a beautiful morning here in Brooklyn. The heat is like a little bit more subdued, so it's like a nice cool breeze. The sun is shining, the birds are singing. I've got my cold brew. Yes, I'm back on coffee. Yeah, I took a nice break from coffee, and now I'm back. Full force, loving my cold brew coffee again. And I'm in the midst of like so much stuff for you for July. I've already got the soul expansion calls up and ready to go. Those are on Eventbrite, and tickets are available now. So I'll put that link in the description. I'm working on my newsletter. I'm going to be doing the energy forecast video for July probably later today or tomorrow. So keep your eyes open for that. It's going to be a live broadcast on YouTube or Facebook Live. I haven't decided which, and of course then I'll be posting the recording of it. So if you can't catch it live, keep your eyes open. And then the newsletter's coming out. So if you haven't signed up for my newsletter yet, go to my website, the lighted ones, and click the subscribe thing, and it'll take you to the form. So much stuff going on, so much stuff in the works, so much amazing things happening right now. I'm also working on my courses, which is really turning into a labor of love. And when I say labor, I mean labor. It is so interesting to me to take these very intuitive concepts that I have just sort of naturally evolved and have naturally been created through all of my hours of client work and group work, and to try to actually break them apart and put them into some sort of hierarchical order and make them into a lesson and into a course is a lot of work. It's a real challenge for me to take this thing that's just, it's basically taking something that came through the heart, right? Taking something that, morning Anna, taking something that came through just this intuitive emotional flow and put it into the head and use the brain computer to break it apart and turn it into pieces and lessons and a morning Angela, into a sort of linear thing. It's a big challenge for me because I'm always talking about, right, get out of the head, get into the heart, get out of the head. But now I need the computer of my mind, which, I've always said that too, is it's not about getting rid of the brain. It's about learning how to work with your mind and letting your mind be your assistant. And my mind is a great assistant, but it's also proving to be a challenge. But that's not what I want to talk about today. I just wanted to take some time to talk about this concept. And this is something that I see a lot of in spiritual journeys and spiritual circles. And this is something that I contended with myself in my own way. And so I want to make it clear that this is not coming from a place of judgment. This is coming from a place of really wanting to provide a perspective that I feel is very important, especially as we are remembering the truth of who we are, especially as, we are returning back to this perfected human blueprint, right? We're clearing these programs of adversity. We're clearing the programs of struggle. I talked about this in the posting that I made a couple weeks ago. The experiment of limitation is over, and we are now freed from having to learn through struggle and adversity and the lower expressions. And now that we're stepping back into the truth of ourselves as this divine human, it becomes more important than ever to embrace our humanness. We came here to be a human. If it was not important for us to have an experience embodied and incarnated as a human, we would not be here. I see this all the time in spiritual circles. People will, am I a mermaid? Am I a unicorn? Am I a Pleiadian? Am I a Canadian? There's this idea that somehow there's another aspect or another type of being or incarnation is somehow better than or more important than the human one that you are in right now. And certainly there are other aspects of ourselves that may be these things, right? This is when we're really starting to understand to be a multidimensional being means that you are connected from your human space to the other aspects of what you are. So certainly there will be aspects of you that you discover that are Pleiadian or Andromedan, or that are, dragon energy or unicorn energy or whatever it is, or angelic energy. And I'm certainly not discounting the importance of that, and it's always very interesting to know those things. But to me, it's the difference between need to know information and nice to know information. And there are certainly incarnations in the past, which are also, just happening simultaneously, where you were not human. But the need to know information is that we are human now, and we are going through this transformation in the human form that is unlike anything that has ever occurred in the history of all that is. Yes, humans have ascended in human form before, but never as a planet, never as a global community and a global collective has the planet ascended with all the beings incarnated on her, rising as a collective body and as a collective group. So there's this loop that we often get stuck in spiritual circles where we're trying so hard to escape our humanness. Right? We say, well, why? I just want to go home. I just want to go back to the thing that I was. I just want to go back to this other incarnation. I want to go back to when I was this, or I want to go wherever I am, A, B, C, X, Y, Z. There's this concept that somehow humans are like the lowest on the totem pole in the galactic hierarchy, right? As if we're just some basic, clunky, caveman, brutish, basic being. And this is total bullshit. Certainly, as a collective, humanity and humans as a group, we have a lot of room to grow up. We have a lot of room to grow and evolve and expand. But the truth is that in order to come to Earth, you must be a soul of a very high order. Think about it takes a huge amount of light to incarnate on this planet in the density that was present up until recently. That's why we are here. That's why such massively bright, wise, advanced, expanded souls said, yeah, I will go from, let's just use this for an example. I will go from level 12 down, way down to level 3 in terms of density. And the lower you get in the density, the thicker and the heavier and the more dense it becomes. So, yeah, it is quite a sacrifice to honor the experience that we are having right now and to choose to say, I will come back. That's why we came back, was to help the idea of humanity evolve back to this original perfected divine blueprint. We came back to bust through those layers of density so that we could get back to living a life that feels like paradise, and so that we could be an example for what is possible when you embody the fullness of what and who you are within your human experience. It's not about trying to escape your human self. It's not about trying to kill the ego or ascend out of the body. We're always trying to move beyond this experience. And that is a recipe for suffering. Suffering only ever exists when the desire to escape the present moment is here, right? Whenever I just want to be anywhere else than wherever I am, whenever I am in resistance to what I am or where I am in this moment, that's when suffering is created. There's also this idea, I was talking about this with my friend Eddie when I was in London. So hi Eddie, if you're watching. There's this trap that has been set by religious systems and other, sorry, I've got some stuff in my way. There's this trap that's been set by religious systems and other systems of control that say, well, you're really only ascended, you're only a spiritual being, you're only of high order if you got a halo, or if you got wings, or if you've got this blue aura. Otherwise, you're just some poor, miserable, basic human. It's this trap to keep us separate from the truth of who we are. It's also the religion talks about this all the time. Well, the kingdom of heaven is out there, and you can only get there when you die, and you can only get there when you die if you struggle, if you sacrifice, if you beg, if you plead, if you get down on your knees and talk about how horrible and broken and sinful you are, and spend the rest of your life beating yourself up, feeling guilty, feeling afraid, denying yourself this human experience because it's sinful and it's broken and it's awful. And then maybe if you're lucky, and also give us 10% of everything that you make. And then maybe if you're lucky, you might get into the kingdom of heaven. Bullshit. Bullshit. That is the point of the earth school. That is the point of the human experience, is that we come here as an infinite being and we agree to incarnate into a finite experience with a level of restriction and a level of density and a level of limitation that is unlike any other. And we also get the kicker of amnesia. So we take an infinite, beautiful, powerful master creator being and we put him in this tiny little container called the human experience, and then we wipe their memory of any truth. And that was the whole point of this experiment, was to see how much limitation can you place on an infinite being and still have it grow and survive and thrive. And also in this free will environment. So we can set up these, so systems of control and manipulation were set up, right? So we came here to have that experience, and now we know. So the idea of that it's somewhere out there, that paradise is out there, or that it's on the other side of this thing, or that somehow when I finish this experience, then I can be happy, or then, no, this is a trap. This keeps you disempowered. This keeps you kicking around, that this idea of ascension or spiritual evolution or elevation is only for the few. That keeps us disempowered. Can you see how these traps and these systems work? Can you see how these thought viruses keep you thinking that you're just this poor, simple, stupid, basic human? And then, oh my God, if I could only be a unicorn, or if I could only be a fairy, or if I could only be that. You're not. You're a human. You may have aspects of self that are in these other realms. You may have incarnations and connections to these other realms. And this is the part of the ascension that is so exciting, is that as we raise our frequency and our awareness, and these veils between the other dimensions and other realities get thinner and thinner and begin to dissolve and collapse, we are connected to our other aspects. So sure, there may be another part of you that is in the fairy realm. There may be another aspect of your soul that is in the Pleiades or wherever. But you, the aspect of you that is present now, is the human one. We keep oftentimes waiting for this massive magical experience of looking in the mirror and seeing some sort of shift in our physicality, and we think that until we do, we're just some sort of low-rent basic human. This is bullshit. Again, you came here for a human experience. That's why you're here. If it wasn't massively important for you to be a human in this life, you would not have come here. You would not be here. So the idea of what a human is, and what a human is capable of, and what a human can be, is certainly expanding. And that's also part of why we came, was to push the human experience to new levels, right? This is the emergence of the divine human, and I've been talking about this since at least last year. You can go through my YouTube playlist and find the video entitled The Emergence of the Divine Human, or The Divine Human Emerges. I'm not sure which one. So we came here to push the experience of what a human is to a new level, and that's part of what this ascension is, right? It is the merging of the divine self, the non-physical self, the higher self. It is the merging of that self with the human physical self, and it is the marriage of those two. And that expands what we are capable of. It puts us back in touch with the truth of who we are. As we continue to delete the suffering and the adversity programs and the struggle programs, we begin to see these abilities come online, and they're not new. We're just going back to the way that it was originally. Before all the distortion, before all the limitation, we are getting closer and closer and closer to the truth of our divine state and our divine nature while we are in the human form. And that's what is so exciting. We are literally redefining what a human is capable of. And in the end, we're still having a human experience. Now, in 100 years, we are going to look back and we are going to see how crucial this point in time has been for the growth and evolution of what the human is and what it's capable of and how we believe it to be and what we perceive it to be. But we're still doing the human thing. We're still having our human experience. We still go to the store. We still clean our room. We still do the dishes. The idea that somehow that having a human experience or being in a human form is less than is the trap. Think about this. If you're walking around all day thinking that you're somehow less than simply because you're a human, of course you're going to feel bad about yourself. Of course you're going to keep yourself locked in this disempowered sort of victim-y idea, this vibration of like, oh, well, if I could only be that, if I was only over there, if I was only up there. Why is being a human somehow less than? And that's another program, right? This idea that humans are like the lowest on the totem pole. No, again, yes, we have a lot of room to grow and evolve, and that's why we're here. So there's always, and I was thinking about this morning, the grass is always greener. I think it's just the nature of us being curious, and the nature of the expression of Source is it seeks expansion through experience. That's why we're here. We're doing things in a way that has never been done before. And I'm sure, I was thinking about this today. I was like, I wonder if there's like Pleiadians that wake up in the morning and they look in the mirror and they go, no, still just a Pleiadian. Oh, no, it's just me having my Pleiadian life. I wish I was a human. Or, when we begin to identify ourselves through our other aspects and we call ourselves, Andrew Pleiadian Angel Wing or whatever. And I'm treading on some touchy ground for some of you, I know. I'm not making fun of the fact that a lot of people choose to identify with their alternate aspects, but you can't deny the fact that you are human in this form. So, I was thinking, like, I wonder if there's a Pleiadian that wakes up one day and decides to change their name to, Angela Human Wing or something, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was thinking, like, do other levels of existence and incarnation really wish that they were here? Like, do they try so hard to escape where they are? And is this idea of being a human, is that somehow more interesting or more curious for them? I don't know. But I just, quit trying to escape your humanness. This idea that we should try to escape it is the cause of so much suffering. This idea that the heaven and the beautiful, wonderful, exciting things are always out there over there, that's what we're starting to see falling apart. And as Earth ascends and we step back into our role as part of this galactic order, I mean, this is the thing. In the next couple of years, the idea of what it is to be human and the idea of what it means to live on this planet called Earth is going to radically change. But the beauty of that, if we imagine we're going to the galactic, meeting and one of us is the emissary for the humans, the beauty that we bring to the table is our humanness. That's what is so fascinating. That is what is so interesting. It's like when the UN gets together and they send a delegate from their nation, they're not trying to be unlike whatever country it is that they're from. They are there to represent and say, I am the one that is speaking for my people, and this is what the experience of our culture and our country is like. So I just want to remind you that your humanness is not a detriment. Your humanness is not a liability. Your humanness is not something that you just gotta slog through and, hurry up and let me get to the end of this so I can just be done with it. You came here for this experience. You came here because the planet was ready for you. You came here because you saw what was going to happen on the planet at this time, and you were really, really excited to be a part of that transformation. You were really, really excited to be a part of the revolution. You were ready for whatever challenges and whatever experiences and whatever difficulties came your way. And I've said this for years, get over the expectation that it's going to be easy, convenient, or comfortable. That is not why you're here. Yes, there will be moments of ease. Yes, there will be moments of comfort. Yes, there will be moments where it is convenient, but that was not like the theme of your experience. You didn't say, I'm ready for a lifetime of ease, convenience, and comfortable, so I'm going to go be a human. No. So allow yourself to be curious about what other aspects of you there are. I am by no means saying don't be curious. Be open to it. Allow yourself to connect to it. Allow yourself to really step into the fullness of all that you are and to have those memories and to have that recollection and to see the importance of these other existences and incarnations. But don't for a second think that because you are human means that you are less than, or that somehow it is undesirable or less as, not as important as. So do your laundry, wash the dishes, go to the grocery store, and never forget that you are the divine experiencing itself through your humanness right now. You might be bored or think that this is just a boring basic life, and here I am just a basic human, and you look in the mirror and you say, nope, still a human. I'm not a unicorn today. You might be bored with it, but I promise you, the divine is thrilled at the experience of itself as you. The divine is having the time of its life because it has never had the experience of itself as you in this body, on this planet, at this moment in time, going through this massive transformation, this massive revolution of light. This is unprecedented. So that's what I want to share with you today. I just want to, because this is what I'm seeing. The next 6 months, I mean, I can't believe that we're halfway through the year, but the next 6 months, hold on to your hat. If you think things have been exciting or crazy so far this year, you ain't seen nothing yet. The energies are only going to get more and more powerful, more and more intense, more and more massive. And, I hear many of you right now complaining, saying, oh, but no, I want it to, when is it going to be over? It never is. Get over this idea that it's ever going to go back to the way that it was. It's not. Those cycles are done. Yes, we will find new areas and new plateaus of connection and of equilibrium and of balance. We will find, places again where we are clear and we are grounded, but it requires us stepping into the fullness of who we are and dropping this victim mentality that I somehow can't handle it. We all have the experience that we came here to have. We are all having the experience that we on some level have chosen for the growth and the evolution of what we are, for the expansion of the truth of what we are. And this is one of the most profound moments in human history and of this planet. So step into it and say, this might be challenging. Wow, I'm feeling really uncomfortable right now. Man, this is a lot of I'm feeling a contraction right now, and I really, really would love to run and escape this experience. But root yourself in this power and root yourself in the truth that you are an infinite, powerful creator who came here. You chose to be here. And never forget that. Never forget that. And when you are having a moment of being in your human suffering, when you are having a moment of being caught in the illusion and you're afraid and you're angry or you're scared or you're whatever it is that you're contending with, don't discount that. Love your humanness. Embrace your humanness. Nurture yourself and love yourself from the perspective of the truth of you as this infinite creator who came back and chose this incarnation. So love that incarnation. Nurture it. Tend to it. Take care of it. Ask it what it needs from you. Ask your body. Ask your emotions. Ask your heart. Ask your mind. What do you need from me to be healthy, balanced, and thriving? But the sooner that you can unhook yourself from this idea that somehow a human experience is less than, or that it's just something to be endured until you can get on to the next one, that's just another layer of suffering on an already very, very challenging existence. The Earth School is not chutes and ladders. It's not for the faint of heart or the weak in spirit. The Earth School is for the brightest and the best and the most powerful who came here to start a revolution. And that's a lot of what we're going to talk about in the July calls. The Rise of the Light is the theme for July. So I've already got the Eventbrite open for the Soul Expansion calls. I'll put that link in the description. Sign up for my newsletter because I'll be sending that out in the next couple of days. And just don't forget how amazing and how powerful you really are. And when you fall and when you trip and fall, or you get caught in the whirlwind of the illusion, have your moment. Doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It doesn't mean that you've messed up. It just means you're having a moment of being a human. And oh yeah, I came here to be a human. And I also came here to move the mark on what that means. That's it, you guys. I got a lot of work today, so I'm going to end this call here. But thank you as always for watching. Have a fantastic week. Keep your eyes open for all my July stuff that'll be coming out in the next couple of days. The energy forecast, the newsletter, Soul Expansion, all that good stuff. I love you. Have a great week. Talk to you later. Bye.